Chapter 59, Is This TV4? On Netflix, TV3, and binge watching. In this chapter, Marika Jenner explores how Netflix moved to producer, distributor, and exhibitor of its own content links in with TV3 media landscape, consumer behavior and viewing habits of serialized content, and a contemporary capitalism and social sphere. Netflix may be best understood as a signifier for shifts within the media industry, where the understanding of clearly differentiated media forms becomes obsolete. After all, Netflix as a company may not survive in the long run against competitors like Amazon or in the face of battles surrounding net neutrality in the United States, meaning that internet providers need to provide the same bandwidth for all content, a rule under revision at the same time of this particular writing, but as a business model that introduced independent or disconnected from established television channels, video on demand, and is likely to have a long-lasting legacy. Yet, if television is defined less through the technology used and more through formats, particularly it seems the format of serialized drama, and we can schedule it ourselves, then the way to ask for our attention changes significantly. A key aspect here is Netflix's independence from branding and infrastructures that link television with online media. In the United States, TV One, dating from the mid-1950s to the early 1980s, is the era of channel scarcity, the mass audience, and three-network hegemony. TV Two, dating roughly from the era of 1980s to the late 1990s, is the era of channel network expansion, quality television, and network branding strategies. TV3, dating from the late 1990s to the present, is the era of proliferating digital distribution platforms, further audience fragmentation, and as Reeves suggests, a shift from second-order to the first-order commodity relations. While TV3 is marked by certain technological advances and connected branding and programming strategies, what is signaled by Netflix and other video-on-demand platforms exclusively available online is the move away from the television set. One significant marker of TV3 is its move towards multi-platform forms of distribution and storytelling, but it has always kept some, however, tenuous link with the technology, branding, and programming strategies and social connotations television traditionally carries. Netflix does draw into question previous notions of multi-platform as television due to its independence from more traditional modes of branding infrastructure that links online streaming to existing television channels. In light of this proliferation of media outlets through which audiences consume television content, Netflix actually is a perfect example of the disruption of distinctions between film, television, DVD, and online video platforms such as Vimeo or YouTube. The Matrix era is characterized by interactive exchanges, multiple sites of productivity, and diverse modes of interpretation and use. TV4 can be understood as the era of Matrix media where viewing patterns, branding strategies, industrial structures, the ways different media forms interact with each other, or the various ways content is made available shift completely away from the television set. The term matrix media to describe what TV4 could be also emphasizes the fluidity of the term. Netflix started out in 1997 as an online-based DVD rental service. The majority of its business is still to stream content that was previously shown in cinemas or on television. Netflix has now moved into the business of being producer of serialized drama. Netflix does not have to justify itself to advertisers in a traditional sense. The company obtains content from various studios and other content providers through fixed-fee licenses, revenue-sharing agreements, and direct purchases. Thus, while Netflix is accountable to shareholders and its partners in revenue sharing, it tends to be the company that advertises itself to subscribers rather than advertisers. Netflix seems to follow HBO's example of creating a brand identity where quality content helps construct the brand. Netflix seems to be particularly highlighted in press statements and interviews in that the tech suitability for its practice of binge watching seems to be encouraged mode of viewing through all Netflix series. At any rate, what exactly constitutes a binge is likely to be different for everybody and defined through highly individualized terms and practices. A major factor in binge watching is that it is disconnected from scheduled television. Such viewing practices serve to remove any pollution of the text through advertising breaks. Another factor in binge watching is the text itself. The kind of attention demanded by some series seems to make it necessary for viewers to consciously make a decision to focus entirely on the series, something only possible if viewers can schedule autonomously. Certain series are cult favorites, however, they may not last to the next series. Success for Netflix series was measured by the audiences it attracted instantly rather than over a long period of time. The failure to track numbers of new subscribers proportionate to the preceding media buzz immediately translates into a drop in share prices. Shows that are canceled fail because the traditional ways of measuring the success of serialized dramas and conceptualizing the audience and their viewing practices seem inefficient in the era of self-scheduled binge watching. Netflix as a corporation panders to binge watchers in general. Serial watching on platforms like Netflix change socialization. Moments of socializing can happen online as one's viewing behavior is shared on Facebook or tweeted. Thus, viewing behavior and consumer behavior is projected as part of one's online identity and can be commented on by others. Furthermore, the water cooler moment and other social interactions is hardly gone, as viewers are still likely to discuss their viewing experiences despite the fact that they are not synchronized.